everybody, welcome to the Behind Enemy Lines YouTube channel. Tonight we're going to be working on a Nurgle Space Marine from the new Dark Imperium box set by Games Workshop. It's been a wee while since I did a painting video anyway, and I thought it'd be fitting to start with some of the new 40k stuff. Tonight we're going to try a different technique, which is basically painting with washes. We're going to use Secret Weapon to basically stain one of these Nurgle guys. He's a great, it's a technique I've used before on a fantasy model, and I'm going to use it again on this guy. The reason for the white paint job and the black trim, as it were, was so that when my ink goes on, if it splashes on where I'm going to paint a metal, it's not going to stain over anything like that. You don't have to, but one of the reasons is I like a darker metal to be shown to, and the only bronze I seem to have is a very bright one. So we're going to begin with Green Black by Secret Weapon. Let's get some paint on that bad boy. Now, I've always liked the Nurgle guys, they're pretty cool. They've always been a bit quirky and a bit dorky. Pretty interesting. So, what I like to do with washes is I normally like to start around the higher edges at the top, because basically it's a very liquid. It's a wash. It's basically water that's got colour in it, and gravity pulls down on it. So you want it to be at the higher tops first, so that it flows down. Now, this is Nurgle. They're dirty, they're disgusting. You can't really make too many mistakes, and that's what I think is quite cool about them. And a lot of people think that everything has to be pristine and chipped. I mean, sure, I could chip these models that I've made at the end, but I'm not going to. This is a fun army that I would like to skin. I've got 2 sets because they look cool. Yeah. So I went away because we're just going to skip through all these, because you don't need to see me putting like green ink on stuff. It's just going to take forever, and you don't want to be sat here all evening watching some dude wash something green. You know how to do that. You know how to put paint on the brush and put it on me. This is just my way of doing it, my weird technique. The next colour up is Secret Weapon Baby Poop. It's a darky browny greeny baby poop colour. Having had 2 younger brothers, I know what baby poop look like, and your mothers and fathers out there will also know what it looks like. Disgusting. This is pretty much the same colour. I'm assuming some sort of colour match was chosen at the Secret Weapon headquarters. We're going to use this particular colour to frame the miniature. So right now it looks like it's just an off-white kind of colour, but that's because I've got some very bright lights in my ceiling. This video was filmed over a couple days, unfortunately, because I didn't have the time to finish it all because it was up very late and had work the next day. But here we go, framing it in. Now don't worry about the black, because that's not important at this very stage. We're not going to also attack the eyes to the very end, because I'm saving those till last. But just try and get the frame in with your dark green. So you don't have to use Secret Weapon, you could use exclusively Games Workshop. So the green could be, I know Flesh Wash could be Raycliffe Flesh, and the Amethyst could be Drakari, Bushlock, Purple, whatever it is. Alright. Anyways, here it is finished. As you can see, he's getting a tad crustier each time you see him. So he's looking good. So there are tons of spots that you'll miss. I missed at least 3 spots when I thought I'd finish this miniature as well. White is very unforgiving when it comes to colours that you've forgotten. Alright, I'm moving straight on to the metallics now. We're going with the bronze. So what we're going to do with the bronze is basically we'll smash our desk, so it makes our camera shake. That's a good move, me. We're going to go with the shoulder pads first, the rim around the knees and the other trim. He's got to gorge it with some trim, and it's got a little pokey bit on his face, which I think I'm going to do there. The rest we'll do in silver. I might add that I'm trying to look for a way that I can balance my camera as well as my miniature so you get the best view. Because right now I'm painting sort of one-handed on a desk instead of, balancing my miniatures in both hands, because I can't quite get my head close enough to the camera. Anyway, here he is, all metalled up. Oh, by the way, yes, I forgot to mention, I did go over this with some Nuln oil to tone down the silver and bronze colour, because they are far too bright. Alright, we're up to Nurgle Oxide by Citadel. Now, another cool thing about most of these washes is if you apply too much, take to it with either an old brush, like a drier brush, not a wet one, and just push it off. You'll see me make that mistake in about there. So I've added too much between those weird spiky things he has on his shoulder pads. Normally, if this is paint, it's a pain in the bum. You've got to go back, start again, paint over, strip it. But in this case, I'm not going to. I'm just going to go with the flow because it remains liquid for a wee while, which is quite cool. And in bits and pieces, trying to get round bolts and things to make them look like they're oxidized. Because I think bronze or brass is one of those colours I don't understand. Goes a bluey green. I passed science, so I should know this, but it was high school was 20 years ago, so we don't talk about that no more. Yeah, so I did something here where I'm trying to, yes, here we go. I tried to change camera angles. I'm not sure how it's going to work. Right now it looks terrible. But I'm just trying to show you how I get in there. So that was me using too much. See, it's got a long working time. Pushing it around. And you want to spread this out. You want to use this sparingly. You don't want to go bananas and have an entire oxidized model. It'll just look dark. And my brush is mostly wet most of the time because I'm trying to, thin my paints down, but I don't want them to bleed over onto an edge. So I use a damp paintbrush for doing this. At one point I'm going to find out this technique is not ideal for the shot, and I think we'll change it in a second when I figure out how to do this slightly better. But for now I'm just going around the miniature, picking out all the spots that I painted bronze, and giving them a little shellacking with the Nurgle oxide. I don't know how to pronounce that. That. The greeny light, the light bluey green paint that makes the models look like they're old and crusty is what we're trying to achieve here. Now another great thing with Nurgle is any mistakes you make, say when you're doing this technique, you can just push it off with your finger. This stuff is water-based. Whipping over it with your finger, like on his grenade there's a set of 3 skulls, the one in his hand, and I painted that with the oxide, and then I just used my finger to remove the excess. That worked out just plenty good fine, and that's fine. Here I come with a big brush to remove the dreaded mistakes. And here I am attempting to find an even better camera angle, but failing miserably. Alright, I think we finally figured it out. So just push it away. Easy as that. It's kind of like not as easy as like cleaning a real bolt in real life. This isn't a wire brush. So just pushing it around, dulling it down, because I want this guy to look neat and sticky and yucky. Alright, I think at this point I was going to go back or go away and I don't know what I was going to go away and do. Didn't look like I did anything. Perhaps chose a better angle. I'm not sure. Oh, here we go. He's got some tentacle or some fleshy cancery bits growing out of his leg. Like, he's actually got another leg growing out of his leg there. We're going to paint out flesh. I'm going to paint a bit of the skull grenade in his back with a teeny bit of flesh. And those pipes he has hanging in the back, I'm going to give them a flesh color. I've seen people do purple or something like that, but I'm going to go with flesh. So, and this is just a straight, what flesh color is this? This is one of my this is the flesh color I use at the end, like it's my final highlight flesh color. This is Flat Flesh by Vallejo. And that's all it is. And over this, when I'm done, is I'll put a small purple highlight because it's Nurgle, it's rotting, it's cancerous-ish in a way. This particular foot here has a hoof, or something, the beginnings of a hoof, and what looks like a bony spur heel popping out of it. So we're gonna paint around that. Now this part here, I can't stress enough, try not to hit the armor. If you do, however, oh, genius shot off the screen. If you do, however, hit the armor whilst you're painting, a trick to fixing that would just be get some white paint, quickly paint over your mistakes, and what's the word? And then hit it back with your ink colors. I end up doing that at one point here because I made a boo-boo. Now, very light wash with the amethyst colors. I'm trying to get it, I'm trying to once again, just like I did on his armor, I'm trying to block this in. So around the edges of the actual, what you call it, wound, growth thingy is not black. Don't worry if you get it on the actual hoof itself, because that thing is gonna get painted a bone colour soon. So purple's quite cool because it's a nifty looking bruising colour, so it's a late stage kind of bruise when you get it, if you get hit in the eye. You know, looks cool, looks like it's sort of healing but sort of not. Could also be some necrosis there. It's Nurgle, you don't know. It's definitely some sort of infection you don't want to catch. Terrific little doodle. Now what was I was also going to mention that at one point, after I finish all these like main techniques here, I'm just going to go around the miniature and painting all the things that need to be painted. So there's wood on his gun, which is weird for a Marine, but it is Nurgle. There's the skull on his backpack there, and there are some grenade sticks. Now, I don't think you need to see me paint wood. No real point to that. But here I'm just going over the gun bits. Because his back tentacle there, that was a hard spot. I spotted that at the last minute, so it was a good find. It's also holding on to the back end of his bolt gun. And I've got this weird upside down pipe thing going on here. So I don't know what these pipes are for. They provide some sort of miraculous Nurgle goop to him, breathing out of one of them and hands connected to another. It's best not to ask to theorize what they breathe. It's not the best idea. Take the Space Marine who's already pretty much vulnerable to this crap and infect him with it and make him stronger by immunity. So there's some raised edges where these pipes poke through, so I'm just trying to get those edge highlights there and just drop the ink behind the edge highlights rather than trying to highlight with the ink. It's a weird concept, I know. So it's kind of like a reverse highlighting. You're highlighting with the first colour you put on. Not sure what the technique is called. I'm not a professional type. I never went to art school. I didn't listen to an art class. But I do like painting miniatures. That's what I do. So we're just going to finish off this purple here. I'm just trying to get it so it's not as purple as the first guy that I painted, simply because his looked more like tentacles and I wanted him to be more, tentacle-like. This guy is more just exponential growth and random pipes, so he's going to get the treatment. Alright, here is the promised miniature. So the wood is, basically my browns consist of a chocolate brown, then a lighter leather brown or a flat earth type colour, and then I finish it off with a beige brown because that helps make a nice little leather colour around his chest band layer there. I'm trying to get him up on screen. Try to get camera focus, please. You can do it, I believe in you. Don't focus on the table, speech. There we go. Alright, cool. So we've highlighted the ribs of his breathing tubes. Leather parts look old and worn, his gun is worn. Now we're going to do the eyes. Now this bit I do screw up, but I go back and fix later. I only screw it up because I'm trying to do it on camera for you, the audience. So I start with violet red. Now I'm trying to only get this on the lens pieces because I'm trying to get that kind of lens effect to it. So it looks like it's a proper, glowing type. Not glowing, sorry, that was a mistake, but a lens effect. So I painted out the other guys, so we'll just get this one done on this guy. I don't normally shake like that, but the reason for shaking is because, once again, I'm miles away from the camera. Normally everything looks professional. Technically I should be hovering over the camera and the camera shouldn't be an impediment, but the way I have my setup is a pain in the ass, and I've got to learn from some more master painters where they hide their where they hide their cameras. Perhaps mine's on an incorrect room. Anyway, so we'll get this one all redded up. Yeah. So this is the first of 4 paints we'll use on the eyes. Okay, we're satisfied with that particular colour. Now I think at this point I try to go away and fight with Phoenix Red because I find that my Phoenix Red top is gunked. It's a Reaper paint, so they tend to gunk up a bit. I'm not sure if that's because of the New Zealand environment where it's really humid a lot and it changes the way the paint works, or because my paints are old, or but just because that's how red the paints are. I'm no paint doctor. Once again, sorry about this, but the good things take time, as Cheese as it once told me. Take this time while it's working to just, hope you're having fun with the new Warhammer 40k for those of you who are playing it. Played 3 or 4 games of it now, it's quite fun. Alright, so, back to the model. Alright, we got the red, and that was we covered the entire eye with that. Now, with this orange, we are going to try and do kind of a half moon at the bottom of the eye. Now I'm trying to thin this right down because I don't want too much paint. And a pain in the bum thing is one of his eyes drops below his shoulder pad, so we're just coming across about halfway and dropping it down. I'm just trying again just to get some more pigment onto the miniature. And finding the problem with that shoulder pad and that eye. Try not doing what I do here, which is trying to push the paint on. Paint should generally be on the tip of your brush and be quite not lucid, quite fluid. That's it. All right, next up is Fire Orange, but you can use any of the series. There's a whole series of dwarf type paints. The Berserker, what is a Berserker dwarf called? The Games Workshop ones that have all this fiery red crap in it, and that'll be the same kind of deal as this. Use it to paint little lenses, things like this. So this is the final bit. So this is the brighter of the two. Now this is going to go slightly below or above. I forgot how I did this, that's terrible. Painting a lens. Should go red, darker red, and yes, this will be right at the bottom. Okay, cool. So this one is right at the bottom of the lens there. So avoid the top at all costs. So looking to do kind of half moons and even small, like in the quarter moon with the Fire Orange. So full moon, quarter moon, no, full moon, half moon, no, second, full moon, quarter moon, and a waxing moon. Think of that. Last up is white. Now white is basically two, let me get it out, go in the top. So the very tippy top. Get rid of some of that. You can see I use my thumb as a palette. Top notch stuff. One dot there. One dot there. And a bit dot there. I've added too much paint in this because I've made a bit of a boo-boo. But that's not going to stop me. What I'll do is I'll go away, paint over the bits that have already painted white, and then just hit them with an ink. And boom. He's done. Now with this one I went with a couple of strike downs with the white because I wanted to give him a flying type bug look to him. As you can see, I've done some simple streaking by just pulling the ink down. One day I promise I'll get one of those cool spinning things that everyone displays their models on, but today is not that day. This is my little Nurgle guy. I only have 12 more to go because I've got 2 sets of them. I hope you liked our video, my video, the team's video. Remember to like, subscribe, thumbs up, play more 40k, give us money on Patreon, all that good stuff. Yeah, I'm really enjoying 40k and I'm really enjoying this inking these guys. Yeah, thanks for watching and have a fantastic evening or day, depending.